Justin Fields. So Justin
my
Fields
God,
had
man.
a dislocated what's called an MCP joint. So he had a thumb, which
Just
is
sounds
like if
gross.
you imagine your thumb,
Throwing hand?
yeah, throwing hand, which is the problem. So if this wasn't throwing hand, tape it up, you're good, man. Deal with it. He had trouble holding the ball afterwards, which is the problem. So this could be a 1 to 2 week thing. This could be a 6 week thing. That's all going to depend on whether he needs the stabilizing surgery. So you do what's called kind of like they do it for an ankle called a tightrope.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple ways they do a ligamentous tightening. Um, I'll explain that after. The joint is your thumb, and then as it goes down, kind of where your wrist meets, where it meets your wrist,
Mm-hmm.
and where that meets your wrist, you have a little thing right here, and so it's a little bone. It's length there about to my knuckle, and it goes down here, and you can kind of feel it on yourself. You move it up and down. That's kind of where your thumb goes. That's what causes this opposition. That's so important in gripping a football.
Gotcha.
Is this kind of pinching that, and that's the joint that allows you to do that, which is
Yeah.
right by your wrist.
Gotcha.
They didn't say specifically whether it was a dorsal or a palmar, whether it went basically up towards your face or down to the ground. They didn't say which way it dislocated or what happened with it. No one really
But yeah,
showed that with it, but it was bad enough to where you can't grip.
that sucks.
And they're pretty painful. I did it to my offhand, my left hand at one point, and it's to this day kind of gives me a little bit of trouble sometimes. Now this isn't my throwing hand. I'm not an NFL quarterback. I can live with it.
Yeah.
I can still do like my soft tissue stuff. I can do my massage. I do what I got to do as a therapist, and I survive with it. I'll have like bad days, but nothing that bad, to be honest. But what they can do is you have the ligaments to protect it, just like any joint. How like your knee, you have the ones on the outside and the inside. You have basically things that cover it to keep it in place. What you can do is a tightrope where you basically put like a string down and you kind of nail it in and attach that in with your ligaments and let it grow through it. Or they can do
That's pretty cool.
what the injection is called. It's basically an irritant. So what they can do. I don't know if they do that in this specific, basically for an NFL quarterback, if that's a realistic thing. But I do know they do like saline injections type of thing, where they basically pump something in there, damage it, and cause scar tissue to build up, so it tightens up. And so you want that scar tissue buildup to restrict motion of the capsule because it's too loose. Now, I don't know if that's a thing they could or would do, but it's an option of an irritant to tighten it up without having to go in and do surgery. If he does surgery, it's 4 to 6 weeks. Easy, he's going on IR. Would not be surprised. But if he doesn't need to, they might wait a week, see what he can do, throw in it, see how it heals, and then decide from there.